It's Andy's DIY. I'm going through this Toyota Tacoma. I put a couple videos out on. Now trying to get this armrest repaired. I priced this thing. I can't find it any cheaper than $100, and I don't even think that counts shipping. So I'm trying to repair this. What happened here was this is first the part number of what I'm working on. I think it's 95 through 2002 Toyota Tacoma. This is the power door lock armrest, so it's the longer one. And it's really pretty hard to find without at least used. The new ones are over $100, and since I've got some leftover vinyl from repairing the door panels, I'm going to give it a shot of trying to fix this. I started with the glue along here broke down. This thing was kind of pulling up, and then it eventually cracked through here. And so anytime you got in and out of the vehicle, this would kind of scratch you every now and then on your arm. So I'm trying to fix this thing. So I started by getting some contact cement, and I used some clamps, and so you can see the marks from the clamps gluing it back down. So at least it's back down. So I use this liquid nail to get this thing glued down. What I'm going to have to do here, though, is before I cover this, I'm going to have to get rid of this gap here. So I'm going to try to come in here with some kind of silicone or something some kind of filler here that I can try to get it at least smooth this out. So when I stretch the vinyl over it, it won't be so noticeable. Because if I just stretch it over that, I'm going to see that indentation. I'm trying to get rid of that look. So I sanded down the edges so I didn't get that pulling out. So at least that's smooth now. And I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. All right, I'm just going to give this a shot. I'm not putting that on there because of the color, but mainly something I want to be able to lightly sand, because this just needs to stay in place long enough to get it smoothed out and then stretch my vinyl over it. Yeah. So I'm going to give that a shot, see if that works. But anything you can figure out, I was going to go with some kind of a caulk, but you can't really do much sand. You can smooth it with a spackling knife. I want to try to be able to get the contour back in this, so I can, at least when I stretch my vinyl over it, you won't be able to notice it as bad. So I'm going to try this and see if this works. So I've got my piece cut out here. So I don't have a camera holder with me right now, so I'm going to have to kind of do this in freeze frame, which I know kind of stinks a little bit. So I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to try to bring this around where at least as much of it I can get onto here as possible. And I'll have to use a heat gun here. And just as I'm heating it up, I'm going to start stretching. I'm going to first glue it to the top. Glue it to the top of here. And I'll start trying to mold it with the heat gun and gluing it as I go. I'm going to use this. This is super heavy duty stuff here. This 90, 3M high strength 90. Just I'm going to be doing a lot of pulling on it, try to work it around. But basically, I'm just going to use the heat gun and just try to fill it. So I got that glue sprayed on there. Now I'm going to do the vinyl side. And here in a few minutes, I'm going to start trying to bring it together here. So once it's tacked to the touch like this, it's starting to pull off. That's when you know you're about ready to go. So once this stuff's starting to dry a little bit, I'm just kind of smooth it out a little bit there and just start stretching my vinyl over. I'm probably going to get just a little bit of a shadow of a mark here because let's face it, this thing is pretty toast, but at least it'll look better. But my biggest thing is getting rid of the scratchy edge, but I'm going to hopefully get as good a look as possible. So here's what I've started with. I've got this top part semi-glued down. I'll start making my cuts and getting rid of the extra fabric, and just start stretching. When you do stretch though, you will get some pulls. Again, I'm not an upholsterer by any means, but you'll get some. But I'm just going for just a better overall look here with getting rid of this. And you can see a little bit of a shadow of that. Just wanting to pull up again. This stuff is just, once it starts to separate, you don't have a whole lot of luck with it. But I think when it sits on the car, you won't really notice it as bad. But there's the problem spot. So at least that's a little bit better. So I'll just keep working this around with the heat gun and show you when I'm finished here. So I'm working my way around. I got a little bit of cleanup here. I'm gonna wait and get that with some thinner or something. But it's bending around okay. Not as good as I'd like, but you know, honestly, it's better than it was. With this part here, I was gonna start cutting my lines, but I'm gonna cut myself short. So I'm gonna come in here with this and just start heating this up and keep stretching. Now, anytime you stretch it, you're gonna get kind of like the little stretch marks there a little bit, but that's just, you know, I'm not an upholstery guy. I'm kind of winging it on my own here, but I'm going to heat this up and just try to get this to push on in there. Well, here's my end result. You can kind of see a little bit where that little shadow is. Honestly, I was trying to get this done because my son's going to be getting home later today, and I wanted to get it back on the car, but I think if you let that stuff really dry and you lightly sand it, you could probably completely get rid of that little divot there. But anyway, I'm reasonably happy with it. It looks better. You can see a little bit of the stretch marks where I had to stretch it a little bit. Got a little boogery in there, but you're not going to see it. It's against the door. So I'm going to install it back on and show you what it looks like back on the car. So you got this handle installed. Like I say, there's that spot right there. A little bit of the pull marks, but I think all in all, it looks pretty good. Looks better than it did. But just give you some choices. This is the first time I've done an armrest. There's a little bit of the pull issues in here, getting it all cut in. But for what I had the leftover stuff from doing these panels here. It didn't cost me anything, so it's better than $100. But there you go. There's one option for you.